Chapter 277 of Shrimadbhagavatam, the aftermath. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The heavenly host could not see when the Lord went back to his abode. When the lightning leaves the cloud and enters the sky, human beings are not able to follow its course, and even so, the disappearance of Krishna could not be seen even by the celestials. They returned to their places, happy at the thought that the Lord had come back to Vaikunta after he had performed those many glorious deeds for the sake of keeping his promise to Mother Earth. But when Krishna left, Satya, truth, Dharma, righteousness, Kirti, fame, Shri, beauty and wealth, and all that is auspicious followed him, and the earth was left empty of all the glory that was hers till now. Daruka reached Dwaraka. He went to the presence of the old people, Ugrasena, Vasudeva and Devaki. He told them about the annihilation of the Yadava clan and about the end of the great Balarama and Krishna. Vasudeva and Devaki heard the news and fell down senseless. They did not get up. In the midst of the heartbroken cries and lamentations of the women who had lost their men and the citizens who had lost everything which they thought was worthwhile, who had nothing to live for now that the brothers were dead, Dharuka rushed to Arjuna. Painful tasks were lying on the shoulders of Arjuna. Many of the princes ascended the funeral fires. Arjuna saw to it that the proper rites were observed when the tarpanas were offered for the dead. He collected all the citizens and the remaining few young women and children and led them towards Indraprastha. With a sudden roar, the sea rushed towards the city by name Dwaraka. It was entirely covered with water. Nothing could be seen except the turret of the mansion where Krishna lived. Very soon, Arjuna reached Indraprastha. Hearing about the tragedy at Prabhasa, Yudhishthira and the Pandavas with their queen Draupadi left their kingdom and proceeded towards the Himalayas, towards the north. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Chapter 278 of Shrimad Bhagavatam, the end of Parikshit. Shuka had come almost to the end of his narration. The end of Parikshit was also drawing near. The great Shuka Brahma then said, I have been talking to you all these days about the many avatars of the Lord. For those who have listened to these stories, there is no suffering. There will be no such feeling as the fear of death. Abandon, therefore, the fear about your impending death. This body was not there in the beginning. It happened in the middle, and in the end it will not be there. But the opposite is true of the Atman. There never was a time when the Atman was not, nor will there be a time when it will cease to be. You are not going to be born fresh like the sprout from the seed. It applies only to the body which is perishable. Fire, which is concealed in the wood, is not part of the wood but seems to be so because it is contained in the wood. Even so, this Atman of yours is not prone to die. When a man sleeps, he dreams that he has been beheaded, and he believes it to be true until he wakes up. He then realizes that it was in a dream that he was beheaded and that it was all unreal. When a man sees his kinsman die, his father or his mother or someone near and dear, he knows that it is death and that he will also go the same way someday. But this, like the dream of the wakened man, is but an illusion. When you wake up in the Brahmi state, you will then realize that death, which you have seen often enough, is for the body made up of the elements and not for the Atman which resides therein. A pot is filled with air, and as long as it has the form of a pot, it has an entity and a name. But the moment the pot breaks, the air inside it becomes one with the air outside it. Even so, the Atman, when it abandons the body which it had inhabited, becomes one with the Paramatman, the Brahman. Maya creates the mind, and the mind in turn creates the bodies. The gunas which control the behavior of the body when life is infused into it. Because of this conditioning caused by Maya, the Atman is caught in the whirlpool called samsara. But once he escapes the bondage of Maya, the Atman is free to return to the state which was his before he became involved with the body, the mind, the gunas, and the rest of it. Consider a flame. How is it formed? A container in the form of a lamp, oil, a wick, and fire, which should be there to kindle the lamp. By combination of all these objects, a flame is seen. And the flame is seen so long as, and only so long as, these objects are present. Even so, this samsara. The oil, which is the essential factor for the flame, is the object which is compared to the karma, the cause of the birth of man into this world. The lamp can be compared to the mind which holds one's feelings, emotions, the gunas. The body can be compared to the wick, without which the other objects cannot function. And the kindling fire can be compared to the chaitanya, the awareness, the life-giving factor. When these combine, the flame which is compared to samsara comes into being. O king, contemplate on this illusory body and the Atman which is permanent. They are together now. You have been thinking on the Lord and only on the Lord for the past few days. The curse of the Brahmin and the sting of the serpent Takshaka are not capable of killing the real you. You are the Brahman and you cannot suffer from the fear of death. Parikshit said, should he, if you have anything else to ask of me, I will tell you can be. I am rid of the fear of death, and the happiest days of my life have been these 7 days when I listen to the stories of the Lord. I have been twice blessed since I have heard the stories of the Lord, and I have them from your lips. It is your infinite kindness towards men like me who are caught up in the bondage of samsara which has made you come to me and bless me with your grace. You have taught me about the Brahman, and after learning that lesson, I have been rid of the slight fear I had about being bitten by the dread serpent Takshaka. My ignorance is now destroyed. I feel happy and free. Please grant me permission to go. I am well prepared to shed this earthly body and to reach the feet of the Lord who has been in my heart all these days. I will withdraw my senses into myself and meditate on him. Parikshit then worshipped Sukha Brahma with all the honor due to him. He worshipped all the many rishis who had come there to help him obtain peace and comfort. Sukha, after blessing him, went away from there attended by all the other rishis. Parikshit was alone. He sat on the Darbhasana and became absorbed in meditation. So intense was his concentration that he became like a block of wood without feelings or sensation. So he sat and fixed his mind on the form of Narayana. Takshaka took the form of a Brahmin and approached King Parikshit, who was lost to the world in his meditation. No one was surrounding the king recognized the Brahmin as Takshaka. When he came near the king, Takshaka took up his serpentine form and stung the king. Even as they were all looking, the people around saw the poison fuming like the liquid fire, and it burnt the body of the king Parikshit. In a matter of moments, the great scion of the Kuru house was just a heap of ashes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Krishnarpanamasti.